Hello and welcome to Beauty by Jen. If you have or if you haven't been here, welcome either way. In today's video, we will be quickly talking about a couple of police officers in the state of Texas who apparently were caught up in a threesome with a woman. One gentleman's name is Freddie Douglas, 43, and the other police officer's name is John Marks, 41. And they had a threesome that they said was consensual with Amanda Z, but Amanda Z later on went on and said that it was not consensual. She was forced into it, and the two gentlemen have since lost their jobs and a lot is going on. But I'm not gonna say more. I'm just gonna say please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 8K, and I will let the video that I put together explain it all to you guys so I don't have to do it a second time. Each and every source that I use to put this video together will be in the description box so that you can check out the original information gatherer or content creator or who's ever or whatever information I use, so that it is fair for them. So if it's an article, anything, it will be in the description box. A new complaint claims that a Texas police officer was fired after being detained for allegedly sexually assaulting an ex-girlfriend, despite the fact that the authorities were aware of film that demonstrated the event was part of a threesome that she had consented to. Freddie Douglas, a 43-year-old father of two and a former Officer of the Year with the El Campo Police Department, claims in court documents that his life was shattered in December when Amanda Zawirusinski, who was 40 years old at the time, accused him and his longtime buddy, John Marks, who was 41 years old, of graping her. The suit states that Zawirusinski, who lived across the street from Marks and was dating him, said that the guys forced themselves on her while she was visiting Marks' home in Manville, which is located just outside of Houston, for a late-night swim on November 8th. The suit also notes that the accuser is white and the men are black. She asserted that she attempted to defend herself from Marks. According to Douglas's lawsuit, she asserted that he then assaulted her by pushing her over to Douglas, who had sexual relations with her while she was attempting to fend him off. However, the complaint presents an entirely different account of the events that transpired from the perspective of the claimed victim. The lawsuit asserts that this scenario is supported by lengthy footage that was captured on Mark's home security system and was subsequently verified by the prosecution. It was in the residence of John Marks that Douglas had his first encounter with Zawirusinski, also known as AZ. On the day before Freddie Douglas' birthday, it was the day before, he and John Marks had planned to go to a Rockets game that night, the lawsuit states, revealing how Zawirusinski texted Marks multiple times to arrange plans for her to stop by and swim when they got back. Marks went to the game. According to the lawsuit, Zawirusinski returned to the house after Douglas and Marks had gone home. After having a few drinks, the three of them went into the water. Nobody became inebriated as a result. At some point in time, John Marks and AZ began engaging in sexual activity in the pool with mutual consent. Following that, AZ expressed a desire to engage in sexual activity with Freddie Douglas, and she ultimately did so. The lawsuit asserts that all parties involved in this sexual activity gave their full consent to the conduct in question. However, approximately 1 month later, Zawiercinski turned around and informed the police that Douglas and Marks had forced themselves on her and that they needed to be locked up immediately, according to the papers. According to the affidavit, Douglas was at work on December 7th when the chief of police for El Campo approached him and informed him that he was going to be detained by the Manville Police Department because of Zawiercinski's allegations. In the lawsuit that Douglas filed, it is said that that particular moment was the first time that either he or Marks heard anything inappropriate about the night spent in the pool. Additionally, the lawsuit claims that Manville cops never interrogated Douglas or engaged him in any investigation prior to his arrest. According to the lawsuit, Douglas was ignored by the Manville Police Department despite the fact that he immediately informed them that he had video proof that would exonerate him. Instead, he was thrown behind bars and forced to spend the night in a frigid cell without a blanket. While this was going on, officers investigating Mark's home were heard on the home security system discussing the footage. However, according to the lawsuit, they did not investigate the footage and did not charge the two individuals responsible for the incident. According to the lawsuit, within minutes of Freddie Douglas' arrest, the Manville Police Department knew that there was objective evidence that would determine who was being truthful, AZ or Douglas and Mark. The suit also stated that nobody investigated the tape. Following the posting of a $100,000 bond with the assistance of his mother, which included $10,000 in fees that were non-refundable, Douglas used a fire sale to sell off his property and goods in order to finance his legal fees, according to allegations made in his lawsuit. On the other hand, the documents state that his reputation had already been damaged. According to the court documents, Douglas, who had been working for the El Campo Police Department since 2011, discovered that his name was prominently featured in the news publications of his hometown. As Freddie Douglas traveled around the little hamlet of El Campo, the glances and whispers followed him everywhere he went. He was followed to the grocery store, Walmart, the gas station, and the stoplight. In a town like El Campo, if a police officer is arrested and fired summarily by the department, everyone assumes that the accused is guilty, state the plaintiff in the claim. Freddie Douglas enjoyed the support of just his closest friends and family members throughout this difficult period. Because of this, Freddie Douglas's spirit was almost completely crushed. His future appeared to be very bleak, it continues. It was only after Douglas went to the district attorney of Brazoria County that he was able to save his life. The district attorney stated that the Manville Police Department had never visited his agency to make a recommendation of charges. If the district attorney had been consulted, the district attorney would have advised against any charges based on the video evidence, according to the lawsuit. However, in spite of this, the police refused to back down, and the charges were finally dropped after the district attorney brought the matter before a grand jury in Brazoria County, according to the papers. According to the lawsuit, Zawiercinski was never charged with filing a false report to the authorities. Now, Douglas is suing the Manville Police Department and many of its members, along with Zawiercinski, for damages resulting from what he claims to be slander, a violation of civil rights, and malicious prosecution. The requests for comment made by the Post were not met with a response from the Manville Police Department.
Second man, no billed by a grand jury in March for sexual assault charges, is now suing the Manville Police Department for racial bias. He says officers failed to conduct a thorough investigation and arrested him before even interviewing or looking at his evidence. He spoke only to ABC 13 race and culture reporter Rosie Wynn about what he hopes will come out of this lawsuit.
It's been 5 months since a grand jury no-billed John Marks, as well as his friend Freddie Douglas, who was a former officer for the El Campo Police Department. However, he says neither of them should have ever been charged in the first place. His attorney believes this is a case of racial discrimination, and they're filing this lawsuit hoping this will never happen to anyone else.
This is something that is going to torment me forever.
This is the first time John Marks has ever spoken publicly about the sexual assault investigation that he says nearly destroyed his life. According to the lawsuit filed by his attorney, it all started last November when his friend, Freddie Douglas, and his female neighbor were hanging out at the pool in the backyard of his home. He claims she had consensual sexual intercourse with both of them at different times that night. A month later, she filed a report with Manville police claiming the two men kidnapped and raped her, leading to their arrest and detention.
I was just like totally distraught, confused, afraid, and I'm not afraid of much.
In March, a grand jury declined to indict the two men. Mark says the key piece of evidence in the case was his home surveillance video that captured the entirety of the female neighbor's visit that night, showing that she was never in distress, something his attorney claims Manville police purposely ignored and even tried to leave out of their investigation.
Their very biased investigation that would have led another black man in jail or in prison for a false accusation involving sexual acts with a white woman, in which that woman lied about.
Mark says he is now dealing with psychological trauma from this entire ordeal. He tells ABC 13 he made the decision to file a federal civil rights lawsuit, partly to ensure that this never happens to another person of color in Manville. Douglas has also filed a separate lawsuit of his own.
But the message is bigger than me. It's bigger than Freddie. Nobody needs to go through this. Nobody.
Manville police declined to comment, citing pending litigation.
Okay, so here we have a little additional information. This is Freddie Douglas's Facebook page, the former officer who lost it all because of a glorious threesome with a woman who said it was not consensual. And, here we are on his page. He has some pictures on here. Family or whatever. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. Very lovely family. Lovely, lovely family. I just hate that this happened like that. Very beautiful family. But a lot of times we want to have a lot of fun and live it up, but sometimes we just get caught up in things. No one's perfect. We all have our vices, and I guess next time, he would probably make different choices. But they are all adults, and they couldn't imagine that someone would falsely accuse them, I'm sure. So, but if you want to check that out, here's this page so you can go over there and see that. So this isn't Amanda's page, but everyone is talking about this. This is Amanda Z. And this is just going around a lot. I don't even know what page this is. I just kind of just typed her name in and everyone's talking about it. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. But yeah, that's it. So thanks everyone for being here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all next time. you.